Welcome to The Vinyl Underground, presented by Crowd Control. This is Behind the Decks, your backstage pass to North Carolina's emerging electronic music scene. We're bringing you raw conversations, killer beats, and the untold stories of DJs shaping the underground. Plug in, vibe out, let's go.
Welcome back, party people, to the Vinyl Underground podcast. My name is Tony Technique, your host, here with my brother Tim Penna.
Yo.
And today we have some great guests for you today. Tell them who we have, Tim.
Yes, we have Kat and Johan. Known at least Johan out of the gate since maybe 2018.
Yep.
Been doing big things, kind of an OG, even though 2018 is not that long ago.
Right,
but since the scene's been so burgeoning.
Known in the scene as Kinetic Audio.
Yep.
And they've been in the underground doing some big things. Got their own after-hour spot. That
Yes.
You know about. You've been there a couple times.
Oh, man, so many great
parties.
things. Appreciate you guys for all the entertainment you give us and some fun late nights and perfect settings.
Definitely. So without further ado, let's get the show rolling. Thank you guys for coming to the show. Kinetic Audio, we finally in the house.
We're in the building.
You know,
Deadly
we got
duo.
my man Johan
Yeah.
and Kat, Poetic Note. And, you know, glad you guys are here and,
Stoked.
you know, here to share our time with me and Tim over here on the Vinyl Underground podcast. You know, we really admire what you guys are doing, you know, for the scene and whatnot, and especially the underground stuff. You know, we like the underground stuff too.
He's,
You know, the underground scene out here is almost non-existent. You know, this is why we named the Vinyl Underground, because we want to keep, you know, what's going on in the underground, you know, going and keep it, you know, keep it happening. But we enjoy you guys.
I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Like that means a lot to us, and thank you guys for doing this because
Yeah.
this, just like you said, the underground's really small here, but it's burgeoning. I mean, we're growing. It just takes people putting frankly the time and the work into doing things like having a podcast showcasing some of the talent we have out here. You know, underground focused, you know, promotions like us or some of the guys up in Durham that, you know, we all know, the Dance Groove guys, No Visa, all those guys. It just takes time and logistics that people tend not to see.
That's true.
They come to the party, they have a great time, they talk about it to their friends. Meanwhile, they're over at the after party, kicking back. We're still cleaning and setting up for the next one.
And this is why, and I realized that. I mean, I was just at your spot, you know, this past weekend. And, you know, I know that by the time I left, people were still coming in. And this was already like after 3 in the morning, right? So I was actually kind of impressed. I was like, there's actually people who are starting to figure it out. You know what I'm trying to say? And they're starting to figure it out. They're starting to say, well, there's a spot. You know, it's after 2. We don't want to go home. And this and the third, you know, let's look up Kinetic Audio and head over there.
Yeah.
But then I thought about, that means that they got to be here till like 5 working and, you know, cleaning up and stuff.
By the time we clean up, drive home, shower, because especially now it's hot, we're sweaty. We're going to bed about 7 in the morning.
I will say though, one of my favorite things about cleaning up at the end of the night is all the things that I find.
All the
fans, hats, everything.
Drinks,
bottles,
whatever,
stickers,
right?
clothing, parts of their trinkets.
I can imagine,
It's
because
fun.
people are like, they're not walking in there sometimes.
Right.
They're kind of tripping in there, right?
Right.
So, you know, but hey, that's a good thing. People are having fun. You know, I mean,
They are.
this past weekend was a great night. I mean, Johan, you know, Johan is, both you guys were actually spending that night, and you know, had that the Abyss party. Which was one of my favorite parties. You know, for techno out here.
Really
I found these guys back in when did you start the Abyss party?
So the first one was March of 2023.
Was it?
Yeah, Basement of the Fruit. It's wild to think
It's been a while.
it's been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years.
But yeah,
I know I found it. So I don't know how I came across it, but I was like watching. All of a sudden, I heard about the Fruit, and then this is when I started getting back into the scene. And then I heard of the underground, the basement parties that were having over there.
Yep.
And I was like, there was your party, and I think there was another party at the Subtech. Was it? I think was.
Yeah, the OG Subtech days.
Yeah.
That, and that was even before. That was long before I even started DJing.
I think Sean was the OG kind of with really pioneering.
Shawnee boy,
And shout out to Sean because I think he
Subtech,
had the vision, and that's how I met you. I think circa 2018, maybe at a Molino Babylon kind of thing where you played for us. Yeah,
and that was one of the first. I was like, well, what is this? This underground. Then when I went to the party, I went to check out Johan's party, and then I was like, I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm home. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute.
He likes the driving.
Rewind. Where am I at? I'm in Durham. Oh
yeah. I know Tony's taste-ish.
We were and then when I heard the techno, I was like, man, this is it, bro. And then, actually, honestly, when I started going to this party, I said, I got to get into like DJing and get into the scene heavily, and because of that, seriously, just because of your party, really kind of really brought out a lot of the.
I remember you saying that one because we've known each other for. I mean, since he moved here, maybe early on, I caught you at one of the Sean Gahalva shows or something.
Yeah, and I went to Sean's. I found Sean first, right? Sean from Rabbit Hole. Shout out to Sean.
Yeah,
and I found him. He was throwing the parties over at Shady's.
Yeah,
those were good.
So random.
Those were really good.
But they were solid, man.
They were, and I've met you there.
Shout out to Garner.
I met you there, right?
Yeah, we did meet there. That was a great night.
Shout out to Garner, right? Hey, I was like, where the hell's Garner, right? Because I'm like, I'm in Durham and stuff, and I'm looking at the map and how long it gets there, and like 33 minutes away, and it's like where? It's not in Raleigh. It's like down that way, right?
Yeah.
So we get out there, and I look for the party. It was all of course the windows are all blackened out and all that. And I told her, I'm like, I don't think the party's here. So I walk up to the door. I can hear music.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a private party. I'm like, all right. Well, I turn back around and start walking to the door. I'm like, nah, this ain't right. I didn't drive out here for nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I went up to the door again, and I think some bouncer opened up. I forgot who he was, and he invited me in. He was like, "What's up? Come in." I was like, all right. And then got her, and we went in, and that was it. So. But even then, I was like, "Yeah, this is what's up," because first time I've experienced something like that, right? It was like something that I haven't seen in the Triangle, that type of party.
Yeah,
that was before COVID, though.
Yeah, no, it was after. It was 2021.
Just were getting through maybe 80% of the buzzkill. I don't know. It was still 2021. Pretty fresh then. Yeah.
But it wasn't until I got to Johan's party and Kinetic Audio's Miss party. It was like, oh, I like this real underground feel that that I like, and that's when I really started. It was like, I want to get on this mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But all the credit to you, bro. Right Underground Podcast.
Thank you,
legit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my influences even come from. I don't know if you guys went. It was a spot in Chapel Hill called Nightlight.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So and again, unfortunately, they didn't survive COVID. And that was, to me, the purest just representation of underground in the Triangle. It was gritty. It was punk. It was experimental.
Yeah.
Like, you go there on any given night, you're going to hear some, can we curse on this podcast?
Yeah.
You're going to hear some weird shit.
Yeah.
And that was what got me into experimental techno. And this was back in like 2017, and I didn't even know what it was. I was just like, this is it. This is
right.
I want more of this.
Right.
And unfortunately, they didn't survive COVID. But then, coming back out of COVID, getting more active into DJing, and then really me being like, no one's putting on this kind of techno party that I want. And even at launch, like initially, the Abyss we were doing is significantly different than the Abyss we're doing now. The vision, the sound design, the people we booked, because it took this long to really refine that idea and that concept to where now, like, Abyss is just gritty, driving, industrial techno.
Great lighting.
It's really dim.
Organic fog.
Exactly.
Just kind of materializes.
To where like it really feels like a blend between like dungeon and decrepit back room of a factory. It took that long because I remember our first Abyss party. Shout out to Adam, the Faces Blur.
Yeah,
you know, local icon. But he did the lighting for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that because I always love your lighting, man.
And like the light, we had lasers and it was super bright and it was like pink, green, blue, red, and it was fun. It was a great party. Yeah. But worlds different than what Abyss is now. Yeah. Abyss is blood red and banging techno.
But isn't red the light that we all just need? Warm lighting, man.
Oh yeah, and I definitely felt it this past weekend. I mean, you guys put on a show and of course the techno was just driving and it had me. I mean, that day, check this out. That day, I was up at 6:30 in the morning. I was telling you that I was up since 6:30 in the morning and I had gone to a party before that at 7:30, and we were dancing like crazy. And that was that Section 4 party. Shout out to Section 4. And actually, I was jumping around dancing because it was kind of one of those type of parties. So then and I was up at 6:30 in the morning. It was like I had some.
That was the same night as
work to do at the house. Same night. So I went to that. Then I went to their party.
About that life.
And then their music had me like dancing right. And so like 3, I was like, yo, Hamid, I'm tired. Man. I think I'm gonna fall out. If I don't drive back home now, I'm gonna fall out, bro.
We get it, man. Like, it's funny. Before the show, so David Surratt, good friend of ours, Snake Charm School.
Shout out to Snake Charm
He
School.
opened. Then Zach Burden was after. Myself and we were all talking and we were like, let's just go as hard as we can. Like, let's just rip it tonight.
Yeah.
Like, we're not holding back.
Damn, really?
It's we're seeing people trickle in. They're wearing all black. They're here to party.
Yeah.
Like we're just all ripping it tonight.
That's right. I definitely did, man. And the crowd was, they were coming in and we were like, yeah, this is what's up. The vibe was definitely. My man, I don't know, the guy was in front of me, tall white guy. Shout out to the tall white guy that was standing in front of me dancing. He was
Wyatt.
Dancing. Huh?
Wyatt.
Yeah.
Is he the bald guy without? That's bad.
I don't remember. He's a tall guy. He's like tall, older guy, little gray hair.
Yeah. Wyatt
so.
Works with Ashley.
Yeah. That's what I love that guy, man.
We were so surprised because
weird dance bros.
He was at
dance bros,
old men.
So he was at the first Foundation when it was just a weekend resolution show.
Yes.
Before we named it Foundation, and that was when Jermaine, Keith, Lydia, and Marshall played.
Yes.
Right. And he's loving it. He's dancing. So I thought he was a house guy.
Yeah. Not this weekend.
We were like,
he was standing in front of me, just like, oh, he was just, and I was like, I was like, he just had me dancing.
Yeah,
I know. He has fun, man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
It took a couple months, but we're finally getting to the point where we're reaching the people who get it.
Yeah.
And those are the people who are coming out to the parties lately. The majority of them are people who are coming out for that music and for that experience. And like you guys can see, the energy in the room lately has been incredible at these parties. Like, even if we have a small turnout sometimes, as things happen, you have small turnouts, especially in a college town like this, we're in the off season. I mean, we still get a room of 50, 60 people and they're all dancing. And the energy is great and they're smiling and it's just a wonderful time.
And it's a great diverse crowd, man. I mean, you have all kinds of people, young, old, all kinds of different people, which I enjoy, because you get surprised. You're like, these people actually came here to bang on some techno. You know what I'm saying? I can feel that.
They're out there, man. And that's as we know, it can be a stubborn growth process here in this area, even with all these great transplants that have seen big city vibes. A lot of them still just haven't been able to find where it's at, or they think we're just so lame. And of course, they'll run into even I can say, hey, there's 3 or 4 things happening this week, tonight, whatever. But I think as we've talked about on the show before, we're still, I don't know if it's a population thing, but it spreads everyone out a little thin, right?
Yeah.
Something happening in Durham could be one of your dear friends, but they coincidentally are doing something. You're doing something here. Somebody's doing something in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
We're all pulling small percentages away from each other.
Yeah.
But pretty kick ass either way. It looks like it's growing.
So one thing that we've noticed, which was a surprise to us, so the viewers don't know this, we live an hour away
That's
like,
true.
Like so.
I didn't know that. Sanford or Fayetteville?
Yeah, just outside. And so for us, the drive to Raleigh versus the drive to Durham is a 10-minute difference, because it's just the difference between hopping on 40 going north a little bit to Durham.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until we started doing these shows that depending on where you live, it can be a 45-minute drive from Raleigh to Durham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And so
it deters me sometimes, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly putting ourselves in the shoes of people, of like the party goers, the people who are driving, maybe they want to have a couple drinks or something.
Yes.
And so that's a lot to ask of them to drive 45 minutes to come to our show from Durham, because, you know, for years we were doing parties at Durham.
Correct.
In Durham at the Fruit. We built up a really great following.
Sure did.
But yeah, it's like, hey, drive 45 minutes for a local show.
Yeah.
It's that's a big ask. And so sometimes they'll make the drive down, but we've really been organically growing a Raleigh following.
Yes.
And it's been a bit of a culture shock, because we're reliving the first year of throwing events in Durham.
Yeah.
Which frankly bruises the ego a little bit. I mean, our 2023 closing party, I think it was, we had a local lineup and we had over 200 people in the basement of the Fruit.
That's awesome.
I remember that night.
And it was a wild night. Boston 168 came out. We sold 167 tickets to that show. And that was for Techno headliners. It was a great show.
Yes.
But 90% of the people in that room didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That makes it even better.
And so it's been a slight change of mindset to constantly remind myself, at least, to say, hey, yeah, you did all this stuff in Durham, but this is a completely different city.
Yeah.
This is a completely new demographic that we've got to build trust with. We've got to actually show them what makes us different, the way we do parties, the way we book lineups, and build their trust. And there's no rushing that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that takes time, and but once you get it, and once the people catch on, like I've seen it this past week, and people are catching on. Yeah, I mean, I was just talking to Zach not too long ago. We were like, you know, some of these people we've seen, we've never seen in our lives. Like, well, who are these people, right? I mean, it's like,
I love
because you know, we knew some of the, you know, regulars, right, and they came from Durham or whatever. Too. But you know,
strangers.
Yeah, now it's like, you know, we see people like, who are these people? Which was a good thing, you know. What I mean? Like, and then just, you know, it just mixes it all up.
There's never really any bad energy with, you know, these things either. So it's kind of like, you know, that you can, I could come by myself in an Uber and I'm fine. And then you end up knowing a lot of people because we've been here for a bit. But yeah,
it's. I've had to kick out 3 people.
Yeah,
that is not many.
Yeah, three people over 7 months, sometimes doing 3 shows a month. Yeah, it's a great track record, but I have zero qualms about kicking people out.
Yeah.
If your energy's bad.
You're a businessman too.
Exactly.
Like a professional.
I am not going to let anyone in that space
kill
who
others,
is going to be a detriment to the energy, who's going to be belligerent, who's going to be predatory. Like we don't tolerate any of that. Like it's
save space.
Damn right.
Exactly,
damn right.
Exactly.
And she's a good enforcer too.
Snatch them up.
I like to think I'm head of security.
Head of security. You know, we were just talking with one of our last guests about one of the only underground, you know, after hour places that are actually doing what you guys are doing. Like, who was the Who Cares guys?
Yeah, the Who Cares already. That's
Kenley. We had him on the show last. And the Fusions party.
Fusions
it's
are
like
great.
2 or 3 of them. You guys are one of them, right?
You're the consistent one we can count on, though.
But like Raleigh's getting there. We got things popping off, and
it's a good sign.
And I refuse to get into the train of thought of like there's not enough to go around in Raleigh.
I like that.
I mean, like the metropolitan area, you consider Raleigh, Durham, the surrounding suburbs, just over like 1.1 million people out here. You know, I think like roughly 4,500,000 of those are in Raleigh itself. It's like, Durham's like 296 or something. But I mean, you're telling me each party can't get 100 people? There's enough parties to go around.
Well said.
The great thing is we're all doing different things. Like Kinetic Audio, like our style is just like, we have Foundation, which is house, Crawl Space, which is kind of fusion. We're going to be releasing Tantra, which is like our melodic theme show. But we're techno. Like we're Abyss through and through, dark, gritty, driving techno.
Even your poster conveys.
Just like a razor's edge. And then like, who cares? They're tech house, they're Latin, they're like Miami rooftop vibes, like you know, Kenley throwing down, you know, Kenley really driving tech house in the triangle. He's one of the hardest workers that I know, production wise, managing these events.
Yeah, he has the space, the warehouse space.
Exactly, like they're doing their thing, and then the Fusions guys, like. I love that they are the hub of the shuffler community. That is
shout out to the Fusions guys.
Exactly.
Capital City Shufflers.
I think it is absolutely critical to just have these little centers of gravity for different hobbies, you know, around the triangle. Because if you would have told me 10 years ago, like, oh, Raleigh's going to have like its own kind of like traveling shuffle team and shuffle meets and stuff like that, I'd be like, who shuffles in Raleigh? Lots of people shuffle in Raleigh. And now there's like this hub and this group for them all to get together and hang out. Exactly. Like, and it just takes that one or a couple people saying, hey, let's do this.
And that's you know, that's why I always say there's a lot of room for growth out here and for everyone. I mean, you know, you can't get like some people. If you feel like you want to take that chance, jump in with both feet because there's room to grow out here. I mean, there's and I always right and I said that to the audience too. You know, if you have a dream, you have a vision, go for it out here. If you want to do it, there's going to be, as I said before, man. And I've told people this many times since I've been here in 2009. So many people. I don't even think I remember going out when I got here in 2009. Well, probably once in 2012, 2014 downtown. But what I'm saying is that more and more people are moving down here, right? And the more people move down here, the more people are going to be, you know, liking the stuff that we want to, you know, provide. You're going to keep building, you're going to keep, you know, build a crowd. And right now is probably the best time to get into, you know, into that. So
it is a good time to be in Raleigh.
I mean, you know, it's slow growth. I mean, I was just speaking to Patrick, you know, from Tree City and stuff like that. Shout out to Patrick. And, you know, we were talking about, you know, I'm trying to get them on a show, but we were like, you know, we have Raleigh, you know, we have this whole Southeast area, which is like DC, you know, Raleigh, Charlotte, Greenville, Atlanta, you know, which we kind of have that whole regional thing, right? So sometimes I feel like, you know, Raleigh's a little out on its own, you know, kind of misplaced and stuff, you know, we're kind of, but that's changing, man. You know, I think the more time goes on.
Like, I'll give a little bit of secret sauce to, you know, viewers watching. Like, for one, if you want to throw a party, do not listen to the person who says you need to drop $5,000 to throw this rave or something like this. Like, shoot a direct message to me, either through like the Dead Language page, which is kind of like my techno focused page, or the Kinetic Audio page. Like, ask a question, because a party is a room with a sound system and the people.
Yeah, sure.
That is all a party is. Like, if you have good DJs, a sound system that's good enough, that's just decent, that people can hear what's happening and it's not just noise, like, you've got what it takes to throw a party. You do not need to go into all this crazy high budget stuff, because that takes away from the essence of what a party is. A party fundamentally is a place where people can go to hear great music, meet other like-minded people, and socialize, network, make friends. So, like, keep it simple. It's and focus on the fundamentals. And here's the one thing I'll say about sound systems, because it seems like people spend the most money on the production side trying to like source a sound system. You do not have to go dropping $1,500 for a Function One small rig or a Danley or an L Acoustics to rent it for the night. Like, you get a couple of JBLs, you position them, you tune them the right way. Guess what? It's still going to shake the walls. People are not going to care. Like, I'm going on
imaging almost trumps name brand
exactly,
in a sense, right? Well thought out room.
I'm going on a little bit
stage
of like a tangent, because like, you guys know me.
I wanted you to, because this is where, but briefly, I had to brag on one thing I've observed of you since I've known you. Analytical, high IQ takes, eloquently able to spell it out. So I'm hanging on every word if I ever put on a. So please continue.
Yeah, but like you guys know, I love my tech and my gear. Like we've got our own sound system. We rig our own lights and everything. Like we do it all ourselves just because we love the process. But pretty much every reputable or known speaker maker that's present in the US, like it sounds good. Some people are probably going to be like, oh, what's he talking? Like Alto sounds good. Behringer sounds good. Yes, it does. Mackie sounds good. Yamaha sounds good. If you use it within the limits of what it's designed to do. If you've got a couple QSC K12s, red line clip to hell trying to cover a room of 500 people, it's going to sound bad.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
But I can, you give me enough, 18-inch Mackie subs and probably 5 or 6 little 12-inch point source two-way cabinets, I can make it feel like you're in Brooklyn Mirage.
Nice.
It's
all about design. Yeah.
Exactly. It's all, and I am not a sound engineer by any means. I am self-taught. This is just things I've learned over the years. We've actually got some incredible sound engineers in the Triangle.
Yeah.
Bill, of course, comes to mind. Bill of Diffuse Audio. Just an absolute monster of a system.
Pretty looking stuff too.
Mad scientist, just building crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the best way to think about it. You want to throw a party that you and your friends will have fun at.
Yes.
We don't throw any party that we wouldn't have fun at. The lineups that we book, it's people that we want to see play.
Right.
It's throw a party that you and your friends at the end of the night are going to be like, that was a great time. And from there, it's just scaling.
Yeah. Speaking of audio, man, I mean, I was just speaking to Tim last night. I was like, probably one of the things we want to speak to Johan about is about his audio setup at his place, because I'm sure you put a lot of effort and so tell us about what you've done there.
Yeah. So I've got a RCF.
Keep time.
Let's do it.
How much time do you have?
Geek out, man. Geek out.
I've got an RCF theater and touring system, and I am a lifelong RCF fanboy. I think they are, for one, they make some of the most reliable speakers I've ever handled. Even their consumer level, composite cabinets built like tanks. And they're an Italian company. They've got a US footprint, of course, like a lot of foreign companies. But most people aren't familiar with RCF as a brand. You say QSC, you say JBL, you say PV.
Of course.
People know what you're talking about. But they incredible cabinets. And so the theater and touring line, up until a couple months ago when they released their KX line, was their flagship speaker line. And it's a system that I've wanted for years. I can't justify, spending $10,000 on a top though.
Yeah.
Like a single top.
Damn.
And so especially when so many people around the Triangle have systems, like Sean of Rabbit Hole has a Danley system. He's got the SM96s, they're, the Synergy horn tops, and like 4 of the TH118 XLs. For the listeners, that's a super powerful folded horn, or I forget if it's folded horn or tapped horn, but he's got a system that can easily cover 600 people. Bill's got an even bigger system. I don't even know how many subwoofers Bill has. He's
got him hiding.
Yeah, exactly. He's, I think the most that I've seen in one place or like 8 of them, and they're 21-inch bass reflex subwoofers.
21.
Yeah. I don't know if Levi of Down Deep still has a system, but I forget. I think it's in a very old turbo sound system.
Cool shit, if I recall, but I haven't talked to him in a minute. But he had some pretty
one
badass.
time he combined his system with Bill's for a bass show at the Fruit.
Oh wow.
I'll have to send
it. Was memorable.
I still think I have the picture, but I took a picture of this system inside the main room of the Fruit. And I remember, so I went there to help him set up. I went around the corner to get some pizza at Ponysaurus, and I'm walking back, and the closer I get, I just hear the building shaking.
Oh my God.
And I walk in and I stand in front, and my shirt's flapping from the
That's
bass.
good.
And we've got so many systems in the Triangle. For years, it didn't make sense for us doing one kind of pop-up party to buy our own system. But when we like made the decision, we're going to set up our own space. I saw a guy in South Carolina on Facebook Marketplace selling 2 of these tops. And so the tops are TTL 6A tops. And it's a, all wood cabinet, Baltic birch. Inside of each speaker is 2 12-inch woofers, 4 6-inch woofers, and a 1.4-inch, I believe, horn-loaded compression driver sandwich. So it's a monster of a point source cabinet. And we got 2 of those cabinets.
2 of those.
Handling the tops. Like frequency response, like as far as actual, on paper, it's down to
20 to 28,000 or something. Very maybe not the high end like that, but
on paper, it's a 20 to 20K. Realistically, like you'll get some usable like lows down to 50 hertz. But that
50's low.
Realistically. That's out of a top. It's 139 decibels at 1 meter, like, or actually 141 decibels at 1 meter, I believe, because the sub is RCF 9007 subwoofer. Yeah, that one's like 139 decibels at 1 meter. Watts are a kind of misunderstood, measurement in the sound field, but 3,600 watts program RMS, 7,500, 7,200 watts peak.
Yeah, that's still a crazy number.
For a 1,600 square foot space.
So wait a minute, you're probably not even turning up maybe like a quarter of the way? On the master, a quarter of the way? So I'll slowly inch the subs up to 0 dB, as the night goes on. The tops stay at -6 dB all night.
Yeah.
Like we gain stage the mixer, and then I control the DSP via my laptop. But yeah, I've got the tops crossed over at 90 hertz to the subs, and then I've also got a -9 decibel shelf at 2,000 hertz on those tops, just to still take off some of that edge because they're so loud. Like they're meant to be flown for outdoor events.
Yes,
like
correct.
That's where you're really gonna get your money's worth. But I got them used for a deal that was too good to pass up from a dealer, and it was just it was an offer that was too good to pass up.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
And now I've got, the speaker that I've wanted for, the better part of a decade.
That is a great story.
But that's I noticed, I think, I don't know if you had it when you first started the space. Did you have it? Did you have it set up there? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. But I just noticed the 2 big cabinets, on each side. I'm like, okay, that's enough right there. And I'm like, I have to ask him, what's in there. But you also did some stuff with lighting. I know you did some stuff with lighting in there. It's a great space. I mean, the lighting you guys put in just recently. And, if you haven't been to check out Kinetic Audio, check out these guys' parties. They're legit.
Yeah, we've got one coming up on the 26th called Crawl Space. And it's our fusion party for... when we started in Raleigh this year, essentially New Year's was the first one in Raleigh. We had a show called Weekend Resolution. And it was supposed to kind of be a fusion show of just different music every time and very diverse. But what we found was that people weren't really understanding what it was supposed to be. Because some shows, it would be like a techno lineup.
Yes.
Other shows, it would be soulful house and stuff. Right. And so we decided to make essentially different themed shows. And so Abyss is for techno, Foundation is for house, Tantra is for melodic.
Yeah.
And so we were like, we still want a show where we can have like UKG and maybe some drum and bass or some tech house or something. And so Crawl Space is that show.
It's going to be like
what
a
vision
thing, right? Yep, man. Actually, they invited me out to do the Crawl Space.
You're
leading.
Get thrown down. So we've got...
I'm excited.
Can't wait.
We've got Tramal, DJ 1112, shout out, wonderful human being.
Love Tramal. What
universally
a special
loved.
guy.
Yeah, he's out. So myself, actually, I'm playing under my own name rather than Dead Language. When most people know me as playing techno, because I got to get out, stretch the house legs a little bit, throw it out a little bit.
Let's talk about that. Switch gears a little bit, because people know you as Johan Yardan with Kinetic Audio, but now you switched up and took on a new alias. So what's the Dead Language?
Yeah,
tell me about it.
So for pretty much this entire time, I've been playing under my own name, and I got my start playing house, tech house, melodic stuff, progressive, things like that. I used to produce like trance and melodic drum and bass. And, you know, as time went on and I realized like techno is really like the sound that I want to focus on, it just made more sense to create the separate alias, because if you look at all the like headliners I've been booked to support, it's all trance, progressive, melodic stuff. A couple Latin artists like Rafa Barrios or Alan Nieves, like, and so it's a bit confusing, especially now. If I was still playing as Johan Yardan, if I'm ripping 150 BPM industrial techno every month, and then I'm on a lineup to say support Ali and Fila, like, what does that mean? You know, it just made it easier to separate it, because also my style in techno has significantly changed. Like this last weekend, we just kind of went hard, we went all out. But as time's gone on, I've gotten much more into ambient, hypnotic, very just deep, oftentimes slower sounds. I recorded a 2-hour mix with Luke, Visual Canopy. So yeah, Luke's got this incredible channel called Installation where he records. Shout out to Luke,
Was that forthcoming for reading something on your? Is it fully edited and out?
Yep.
That's there. Okay.
That one's out on YouTube.
Okay.
But so I asked him. I was like, well, could I do a 2-hour one instead of a 1 hour? Because like I really want to tell some different stories, have ambient sections. You know, like my perfect stage to play in is a small platform in the middle of an old growth forest. You know, it's dark, it's foggy, it's misty, and we're just playing like very deep, undulating, psychedelic techno. Like that's really what Dead Language is.
That's what's up. Yeah, and I can appreciate that, man. And I know that you know, as far as musical influences, I know both of you guys have various musical influences. Kat, you had like, so you played some like instruments before, or you know?
Yeah, when I was younger. I played drums and clarinet mostly. I've played a little bit of bass. I haven't really played an instrument in at least over 10 years. I did play a bass a couple years ago with my uncle because he has like a little studio. Everyone in my family has played instruments.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah.
But what was the main type of music that you grew up with that really influenced you?
Probably blues and rock and roll.
Really?
My dad, that's all he listened to was blues. My mom, she loved, you know, the very, you know, poppy 80s, metal, hair, you know, all that stuff. But my dad, he liked blues, jazz, rock and roll. Something that, a word he said, outlaw country. Sometimes he'd listen to like really rough country music, which I really liked. And
that drove you to techno. Techno's like is that your sound of choice?
So I get asked a lot, like, you know, what's your sound? And it is definitely sometimes hard to figure out what my sound is per se, because it's kind of still changing since you know, I'm still fairly new to the game. But I just know that it's often very deep and heavy. Sometimes when I think that what I'm playing is really pretty, it's not as pretty as like
as it's being perceived.
Well,
For
like
those that know, they know.
Would play that would be really pretty.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But
That's cool.
you did. She had an amazing show. Was it at Black Box down in Charlotte?
Yeah,
I was. I mean, you got to see
dressed
her.
in
Really,
clown.
little cat in the middle of this whole big crowd around. I was like, "Yo, that is Cat in the middle, throwing down." Let me find out.
That was a lot of fun.
Incredible.
And what
opening for Cloud.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Opening for Cloud. And I had to remind myself that it was a 360 set, so I would like turn around and say hey to the people behind me, just like grinning, and
it's awesome.
It was really fun playing for them. I definitely did a mixture of, you know, like a basic 4x4 hard techno and then some like polyrhythms and like weird experimental stuff, and you could tell the change when each track would play or when I blended it, and it was probably the second time I really got to actually like feel the crowd and play with them a little bit and really just like see what they really like and like just blend, you know,
the interaction.
what we like to play, and then more of like what I like to play hard, and just it was really
It
fun.
felt like almost like you even grew like in a quantum leap in a single show, maybe. Like it sounds like you had that breakthrough kind of
it was
feel.
a great experience.
I
That's
can imagine.
awesome, man.
I mean, I saw the clips, the video clips, and I'm like, I saw the crowd. They were like really into it. I'm like,
Oh, they were
I had to look twice. I'm
insane.
like,
They were
Kat is,
incredible.
yo.
That's awesome.
So I've got a little clip. I'll send it to you.
Please.
I took a video shot from behind her,
Yeah.
and when I say the entire crowd out till, so the way Black Box is, it's kind of like a sunken kind of dance floor area, and then you go upstairs to kind of like this, kind of viewing shelf where most of the where like the entrances are and whatnot. And it's literally a sea of people, a ocean of bodies, and the entire crowd is jumping and dancing on beat with her.
Yeah.
And
it
I'm a
is-
shout out to House Vibrations for that one.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
House
She
Vibrations
crushed
and the
it.
Way to go,
Charlotte
Techno
Kat.
crew.
Vibrations.
Johnny,
Awesome,
those
man.
guys,
Yeah.
killing it out there.
what it's all about.
We were just out there like a couple of weeks ago, and we went to Pangea, of course, and we met some of the Rethink guys. We're gonna have them on the show. The Rethink, shout out to the Rethink guys. We're gonna have you guys on the show soon. But yeah, they have a big scene out there, and we love it. We love the Charlotte people, and hopefully we get to see some more of what's going on out there. But it must have been fun. I mean, I saw you guys. Matter of fact, send me the highlight reel.
Yes.
I'll definitely put on the show so we can put on the highlight reel so we can highlight you guys as well and show you what you're doing. But yeah, man, I love what you guys are doing out there. And shoot, Charlotte. What else are you playing? I know I've seen you going to Richmond and down to
We've
Charlotte.
been traveling around, making my way around North Carolina.
Yeah.
I like to joke and say I'm going on my North Carolina tour. But it's been great meeting a lot of
The
like
bodega
different
recently
people.
or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the bodega in Charlotte. That was a lot of fun. Super chill.
So meeting people around the state. And
Yeah,
stuff.
meeting new people, connecting, networking, and it's been really fun too because like places like Greensboro, Winston-Salem, what's the other one? Boone. There are people out there, who want to thrive and they're working just as hard as we are to, build up a scene. And, sometimes some of these shows, I go to, there might not be a turnout, but I don't mind because, we're still in community. We're still building something, pushing forward, bringing awareness, and it's all we can really do until it reaches the people it needs to reach.
Yeah, and definitely that's one of the aims of the Vinyl Underground podcast. We want to bring the whole community together. If you're from Charlotte or you're from Asheville, Boone, Greensboro, wherever you guys are at, we're going to come to a city near you. We want to have you guys on the show. We want to get to expose what's going on in the state and the people who are doing different things, so that everyone can share the talent, right? I mean, there's people down in Wilmington who are coming over to Raleigh, apart from Raleigh, go down to Charlotte, like you guys, and I think without that, no one's really going to know. I mean, people are not going to be aware of what's going on if someone's not talking about it. And here on the Vinyl Underground, we're going to have, shows for you guys to explore. If there's parties that you guys want to see, definitely hit us up. But point was that we want to expose that, right? I mean, we want to shout out the guys at Charlotte and know that Kinetic Audio is throwing a party up here in Raleigh, and what I'm trying to say, because to tell you the truth, out of necessity, that's what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
selfish endeavor as well, which is
it's
fine.
It's like and one of the things that we was talking about, the podcast is like one of the ideas was like just out of necessity, just understanding, speaking to the DJs and what their visions are like, what they're doing as far as looking ahead as far as projects and whatnot, and what other plans, because if it's up to really the people who are on the ground to build this scene, right? And that's what that's what we're trying to do here. But and there's a lot of people, a lot of players out there, man. But they're not, you don't really hear about them. You don't really know who they are. You mentioned Adam Faces Blurred. He's going to be on here soon, and give him a shout.
I might have Bill on. I mean, that's a brainstorm right there. I just saw that's a different angle, but it's so important. It's like listening to you as well. I mean, you guys.
Who Adam?
Well, Bill Brzezinski. And do they still do this Parties at the Park right now through the summer? I think they are, right? I know
so
he
just recently
brings
had
his equipment out there.
They recently had one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything posted. They might be taking a break because of this heat.
I mean, right, but that's been omnipresent, like as far as just kind of like a sort of an OG-ish kind of.
That was where
thing.
she got to meet Marshall.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Marshall Jones, Dance Group Radio.
Before
to
meeting
Marshall.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I mean,
He'll
I
be high
met
next
him,
month.
But
Nice.
you had
it was
you knew each other
It
for
was
okay,
a park
gotcha.
party.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Marshall was playing, and I wasn't as involved or in the know in the community, but I saw Marshall play, and I was just moving,
his
and I was like,
passion.
"Oh my gosh, this is it right here."
He
The
enjoys it as much
I
as
don't
people
know what
listening.
I'm listening to, but
Yeah.
this is it.
Shout out to Marshall. He'll be on here next month.
Fun to watch, man.
Yeah, we want
enjoyed
to
him
talk
at
to him.
Mosaic forever.
Yeah. Definitely doing big things with Dance Group Radio.
Yep.
You know, his the Floor 919 with Adam.
Yep.
And you know, he's been around. I mean, he has a lot of shows. He had a lot of shows on Dance Group. I know you guys are. So definitely, man. And that's one of the it's one of the things I've actually. I didn't even meet Marshall until I started going to the Abyss parties. I met him there. We were kind of in passing though, you know, and then I got to actually meet him not too long ago, just formally. So really cool dude, and we like what he's doing. So
I always feel like because Marshall's been around for so long, and he's traveled around, and he's learned in a lot of great places like Chicago, and he's been a staple of the Durham scene for a long time. And I always think of it like you're playing a video game, and you're getting you're getting to the final boss, and he's just like one of those bosses that you meet when you finally make it through.
Well said. It's a perfect analogy.
Final boss of house
music.
Like you finally made it
through
all the levels of music here, and you found the underground.
Yeah.
That's quite an imagination, Kat.
Yeah.
I like
And
that.
I mean, even
it's
before
crazy
Raleigh, he was Raleigh. They had a lot of folks ended up in Durham from Raleigh, but it's kind of we're still one and the same.
I feel like most people end up in Durham from Raleigh
they
surrounding, though. If they've
do.
never been to Durham or never experienced the music out there, they will eventually find their way.
To
there.
Durham. Yeah. I mean, there's shout out to Durham. There's a lot of good stuff, happening out there in Durham with my boys over at Party Illegal.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys, and a few other places. I mean, there's the no visa people, and I mean, there's had things happening, and it's becoming more and more, more popular. But Durham seems to be the center, right, of what's all that kind of like that underground new scene that's popping up, right? I mean, I don't know how you guys, what do you think about what's going on over there?
Agreed. I think it's because Raleigh State Capital. It's old money town. It's people say Raleigh's stuffy. Raleigh's finance. Raleigh's buttoned up and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's really the party area in Raleigh is Glenwood. It's been that way for the longest time, and it's you got to understand. At the end of the day, they're businesses, so they are going to do what keeps the lights on. So if that means top 40 or kind of the more digestible EDM and whatnot,
hip hop, of course, always
exactly.
Have a place.
Especially after COVID, when all these businesses are hurting for money, and so I can understand how Raleigh's taken a bit longer to get there. But I mean, now look at us. I mean, there's 5 groups different. Like there's us. There's Space Camp, shout out to those guys. Fusions,
Space Camp.
Who Cares? I'm drawing a blank on who else is in Raleigh. But we've got 4 or 5 promotions in Raleigh alone. So I mean, it just took some time to get there. But I think this is my opinion. Durham's 2 to 3 years ahead of Raleigh musically. And so, the next, 2 to 3 years, which is no time at all, honestly. Raleigh, I mean, we're going to have a very thriving underground again, in my opinion. Because I think the underground was pretty thriving before COVID. It's...
I agree. Well, we were plugged in, so we kind of know it wasn't bad. But if you were new to town, you might not know there was anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, I think it's gonna be evolution, constant evolution. That's gonna be happening here in this town, especially in Raleigh. And Durham. I mean, Durham, is going to continue evolving as far as musically, artistically.
Mm-hmm.
I think artistically is I think they have a slighter edge on that side, but I kind of look at it as like always say it like, Raleigh's Manhattan, Durham is Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
So
Hey.
100%, 100%.
right.
I always tell people because we're from Queens,
Yeah.
and I always tell
Yeah.
people that Durham is one of those cities that kind of feels like home.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Raleigh doesn't feel like home quite like Durham.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like it too clean. Like it's got to have a little, like it's got to be
Right.
scuffed up just a little bit.
Just a
Yeah.
little
Raleigh's
bit.
safe, benign.
It's safe.
It's,
Right.
you're probably never going to get
Yeah.
held at
Yeah, we don't
gunpoint
like
or,
safe.
there's not a lot of trash on the
Durham,
ground.
you still got to watch your neck, man,
Yeah.
because you don't know what corner you're going to turn in Durham and have a problem. But it's
Man,
got
the
better.
city's changed though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it is. I remember. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember. So the fruit, that area used to just be wasteland, just industrial,
It really
barren.
was.
There was nothing out there. Now these nice
Weeds and
apartments,
train tracks.
Yes.
and yeah, I mean, city's growing. It's evolving, and I just like you said, there's a lot of people moving here because this is a great place to live. I love it out here.
Yeah.
Especially coming from the city, like, and we've both lived all over. I mean, it's a great place to start a family. Aside from this couple of months during the summertime, the weather's nice for the most part.
It is.
Pollen's trying to kill you.
And so, and so we still have lots of people moving here. And I love talking to people who are like, oh, I moved here from Fort Worth. Oh, I moved here from Brooklyn. I moved here and we were looking for the thing. And
Yes.
it's like, well, you found it.
Yeah.
Like, welcome home.
We're a little melting pot. Yeah, the triangle collectively, but yeah.
Yeah.
And don't sleep on Chapel Hill. I mean, it's a little cute college town, but there's a lot of
they're
artists,
working on
and
it.
I mean, they're kind of the epicenter of just good alternative music, and that kind of can cross over in a artist sense, a hip factor that has its merits. It's not Durham, Raleigh. It doesn't have the population, but the triangle. We don't want to leave them out.
Yeah. There's other cities. I mean, actually, we've been discovering like Greensboro's doing stuff.
Greensboro is a great spot.
Legit.
I love playing in Greensboro, and the people there are always just ready to dance and so giving and so just accepting.
Really?
And I
Yes.
love playing in Greensboro.
Really? Yeah, that's something. I mean, we I need to kind of delve a little bit.
They had
more
some
into
good
people.
clubs in like the early '90s. There it was wild, man.
So,
like
do
early
Steve,
techno clubs, man. Circa '93 to '97. I don't know how I ended up there several times,
while
but
ago.
I mean I know because I met a club owner in Myrtle Beach of all places. It had a place called Club Zero, and then he built one in Greensboro and left Myrtle Beach, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see him because I just remember some great nights early on.
Yeah.
Different era, but Greensboro,
Who would have thought?
not too bad.
Steve Howerton was telling me that.
Oh,
Steve Howerton out of Charlotte. Shout out to Steve.
Howard.
He was at our last foundation party, the OG of all things Afro Soul. And he's a monster behind the
big.
decks. Absolute monster.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling me back in the day, Winston was like the Winston Greensboro area.
Winston, too.
Popping off. Like that's where it was back in like the 90s and stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like Winston's a town of like
You
15
wouldn't have
people
guessed
right
that.
now.
You wouldn't have guessed
How many
that.
Shout
people
out
were
to
there back in the
Winston.
90s? Like it's
Tobacco and a few humans. That's what you got. Yeah.
but yeah, it's wild to think like when you like take a step back, that 20,000 foot view of the whole state for how small we are. Because really, there's like 5 big cities in North Carolina. You got Raleigh, Durham, Triangle, Charlotte, Winston, Greensboro, Asheville. What's that 6? I mean, that's the cities in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 to 5 groups in each city, like doing different things.
Yes.
And so it's density wise, we've got a lot of people doing really cool stuff out here. And I'm about to catch a lot of flack for this, and I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill.
Yeah.
We've got some of the best DJs I've encountered nationwide here in the Triangle.
Thank you.
Better than a lot of people I've heard in New York.
There you go. You heard it first here on the Vinyl Underground.
Per capita, we're just saying.
I'm from Forest Hills. She's from Astoria.
Yeah.
We go up to New York all the time to visit and whatnot. It's still a great city.
Yeah.
I love it up there. We see great acts. But more often than not, I'm up in New York and I'm at shows. I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah.
All right. It's
It's
cool.
like they're
It's great.
piggybacking their city.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. It's just a business now. It's a machine.
Yeah. Here it's a little bit more organic.
Exactly.
It's a little more organic.
It's grassroots.
Yes.
It's
yes.
raw.
People are working a little harder too.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's still so fresh
Yeah.
that no one's trying to sound like, the 10 people that came before them. Like, we still have a lot of experimentation out here.
People are trying to find their groove in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Like,
I agree 100%. And I agree, man. I've been to parties here that I've just loved and enjoyed myself, like either your party or other guys. But then like I'll go to, New York for one. Been to a few parties out there. I was like, it's all right. Yeah. I've been to other places, out of state. Not impressed. I mean, it was okay, but I don't know. I just, like you said, I find here people are just a bit more,
That's nice to hear you say that.
Yeah,
because you've done and seen a lot, and so that's.
I mean, I've been, to places, but as far as like local, regional, or on the East Coast and stuff, man, this is one of the best spots that I feel like I've been to one of the best parties. So shout out to North Carolina talent and the DJs out here.
Kakalaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's really cool to hear you say that. Like, just because, to astutely observe that.
Yeah.
That's really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And for yourself, I don't know, you've been DJing for what, maybe?
So a little over 7 years.
7 years, right. Yeah. And when I found Johan, playing techno, I was like,
it was like a breakthrough.
I was like, yo.
Now everyone was
saying that too. Yeah, I was like, all right, good. He finally.
And when Johan started doing this with his neck, and he starts doing that, I'm like, oh, that's it.
He's in it.
I remember standing behind him in a treehouse at House of Art.
Yeah.
He invited me up. I was VIP, and I was just Johan, just very powerful.
Shout out to House of Art.
House of Art, man.
Yeah.
So
what a setup! Yeah,
I just saw, it was maybe an Instagram post or something, some good news. They're working on a new location.
Oh, good.
I'm telling you, like.
Yeah, that was unfortunate what happened to the House of Art. Shout out to the House of Art. We support you guys.
I know. I know.
And yeah, man, that's an unfortunate situation, but that exactly, man. I mean, that type of situation, like I said, talking about talent. Yeah, I saw Johan playing techno out here, and I was like, oh man, I've never seen nobody really just drive it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, just taking it like it's been a while. Like when I first saw him, like it had been a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it had been like a span of like 5 years or something like that.
Right.
The last time, and I was like, I felt like, where am I?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I play for you guys next Saturday, I'm going to impress you guys.
I know you
just
will.
rip it.
I know you will.
Like one thing I'll say, so on the Instagram, the Kinetic Audio Instagram page, in our link tree, there's a DJ submission form. If you're interested in playing, submit all your information. What I will say, it helps if you've come to one of our parties before, so you understand how we do things. You've seen the way our DJs do their thing, because it's. I don't want to sound like we're gatekeeping, because people have said that about us before. But what I will say is we are very particular about who we book. I essentially have like a framework for booking people. For one, your technical skills need to be immaculate. Your transitions need to be solid. Your knowledge of EQ mixing needs to be solid. Like, you need to be confident and deliberate behind the decks. And that doesn't mean you don't mess up. You mess up, I want to hear you fix it. That's skill.
Yeah.
Instead of just like panicking, cutting it out. Like, you got to have good technical skills.
Right.
Music selection wise, I don't want to hear the shit that I can hear on Spotify. And that's where a lot of people get, stopped up when they send in mixes, and it's like, where's you in this mix though?
Originality.
Exactly. Like I want you to pour your heart and soul. Like I want to hear a little bit of vulnerability. I want to hear your personality through your music.
Yep.
And so if you're interested, send in a mix, but just know, like, make sure those technical skills are good.
Yep.
And stop. I don't want to make this sound harsh. Stop sending in mixes of what you think we like. I don't give a shit about what you think we like. Send in a mix of what you like, what moves you, what gives you goosebumps when you're playing. That's what I want to hear. Don't worry about what I like. I'll listen to everything from drum and bass to dubstep to hard trance. Like, don't worry about what I like.
Divorce dad rock.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on like the grunge. Like I'll be.
It's funny. My daughter found a CD at some thrift shop called Dad's Mix.
No shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna group to this.
Yes.
But you're right, man. I mean, I think originality is definitely a key with your music. But
that was really. I love how you said that, man. Those are good qualifiers, and there's nothing wrong with asking for some of that, and not just chancing stuff, because it's you're directing you're kind of a partial director, but you should have a little vetting going on, I think, to curate what you want, because it's still your show,
I remember
your vibe.
So John CZ, shout out to CZ.
Shout out to John.
I've known John for years. He plays great music.
Yes.
But one night he was playing at Gojo for a Between Two Clouds event, and like that was to date still my favorite mix that I've ever heard him play live.
Wow.
Because there was some emotion in that mix. Like there was some pain, there was some bittersweetness, there was some that there was some vulnerability in that mix. And John, if you're listening to this, that is still my favorite mix that I have ever heard you play. Because that's what makes it more than music. That's what makes it an experience.
Yes. I agree. I agree. And you put your emotion and your feeling. I mean, your personality, pretty much what you're going through. And I agree, man. I mean, sometimes when I'm sitting down and I'm just listening to my mixes or I'm making a mix, I'll just be like, man, I'm just gonna feel what I feel, play what I feel. Right? I feel like this, I'm gonna play this, man. If I feel hard, I feel a little bit more melodic. But let them know, let the audience know, man, where they can find you on Instagram, on the socials, so they can contact you guys, they can give you a shout, they can submit the forms and all that.
Absolutely. So we're on Instagram. It's Kinetic Audio _NC. Feel free to reach out to us there. So my Instagram profile is deadlanguage.techno, I think, or something like that. You punch it in, you'll see a moody looking photo. You'll know it's me. Skylar is Poetic Note. Feel free to reach out. We just got the Facebook page finally set up. So it's Kinetic Audio Events on Facebook.
Okay.
Nice. We monitor that. And she's been nagging me about getting the website finished because I've been procrastinating. I'm terrible about it sometimes.
Back the whip.
She is my partner in crime. She is my fellow menace to society. I love you to death.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you guys are a duo like that, man, to make it happen. It make things even, but yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the, Instagram, Facebook, you got the website coming up. You have events like twice a month now, three times a month now, right?
And once the weather becomes survivable, we'll start doing day parties and outdoor stuff.
Oh, great.
But real talk, I'm not doing a party when it's 95 degrees, 100% humidity. We're not doing that.
I can barely move.
I respect that.
I'm serious. This has been like so terrible.
I don't want misty stuff blowing in me when the dew point's still 78 and the fucking humidity's 80. Like, okay, thanks, man. I'm already sweating. I'm already wet.
Exactly.
Kagalaki weather.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. I mean, this summer's been really terrible, right? So far. Yeah. But gosh, so yeah, definitely you guys will be, around town doing your thing. You got Poetic Note here for the audience, and Dead Language or Johan Yardan. You guys are definitely, doing your thing. We appreciate you guys being on the show.
Thank you.
We do. Honored to have you both, man.
Yeah, this has been a fun time, and we hope that you guys, I hope your audience, enjoys the episode with our crew here, the Kinetic Audio team. And anything else you guys want to mention, or no? Kat, anything coming up? What's coming up in the next couple of months?
I'm going to be playing with my hardware. Our friend David gifted me a little groove box.
Right, I saw that. And
I already have a little Korg Volca drum, so going going to be messing around
So
with
you're gonna be
those.
seeing some of the hardware stuff. Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
Good
that.
for you. Good for you. Heck yeah.
There are some big events coming up. I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
Good.
That's fair.
Local.
Yeah, local.
Local.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you have the Fem Fragments.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Fem Fragments. Get it?
Incredible
Fem
party last
Fragments.
Saturday.
Yeah, they've
sound
been.
like
You
they're
guys have been throwing
quite
down over
successful,
there
yeah.
at Rubies.
Yeah,
Shout out
it's,
to Rubies.
Yeah.
It's been really great. When I started just the event Fatal Frequencies, I didn't really have any direction. Just me and my friends wanted to play, a group of girls. And now it's turning into its own identity, and it's a whole thing. Putting female and femme DJs forward and have it focused on them. There's a lot of guys out there that DJ, and that's cool.
Yeah.
No shade to them, but there's a lot of females who don't get to play out often and don't get put on lineups, and I think it's important to showcase that in our area. And there are a couple other events that have been doing stuff like that for a while, but I think we do it just a little bit different.
Well, definitely. If you haven't found Fem Fragments yet, definitely look them up. These guys, they're throwing some great parties over at Rubies at 5 Points in Durham. Shout out to the whole Fem Fragments DJ collective. Definitely something new, that has been introduced into the mix. So definitely keep that up. That's awesome. And Johan, what about yourself, man? I know you always have something going on.
Yeah.
So you're busy. You have you got
100% 24/7.
Anything you want to mention significantly?
So, on a personal level, working on some gigs in Detroit and New York. Those will get posted to the Dead Language page. Well, some of them Kinetic audio page.
Yes.
Wait, you're going to be in Detroit, Chicago?
Yeah, so I'll be in Detroit September 27th and working on locking on a New York date for August. But yeah, and then of course we've got, the last party of this month, Crawl Space. Yes. I won't, I'm not supposed to announce it, but we've got our next foundation, August 2nd, which is our OG classic house party. We've got Moses. I don't know if anyone knows Moses, any of our listeners, relatively new addition. Okay. But we've got the OG lineup. We've got Keith Ward, Jermaine, Germania. Yeah. We've got Marshall Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
OG, like we're cooking that day.
Those guys are still fresh, man. I mean, regardless, OG to present.
Yeah. And then August 16th is the next abyss where we're bringing in our friend Leah from Winston, isn't she? Greensboro.
Okay. I think. I don't know.
Goes by Vivitor. And then our good friend Connor Simons from Charlotte, who incredible DJ and producer, hard groove guys. We did a little poll online. You guys said you love your hard groove. We're giving you some hard groove. Like we listened to you. He moved back from New York. He was essentially, one of the right-hand man for running and managing Agape. Up in New York, which is a massive, label promotion. So he's back down. He's gonna be cooking.
Hell yeah,
that's what's up. Well, thank you for mentioning those events coming up. Yep. And again, we want to thank you guys for being on our show and
thanks for having us.
Right?
Anytime, man. It's an honor.
So with that,
cheers.
We'll wrap it up.
Thanks for listening to the Vinyl Underground. If you love the vibe, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share. Want to support the scene? Follow us on Instagram at CrowdControlNC and at the Vinyl Underground Podcast and at Tony Technique. Stay underground and we'll catch you next time on the Vinyl Underground.